is Saturday. It is the last Saturday of 2025, by the way. And I wanted to do a reading on what lessons did we learn and what lessons do we need to teach. Okay. And when I say what lessons do we need to teach, I'm talking about how do we need to present ourselves? How do we need to show up ourselves so that others can respect us in the same ways, right? So those are going to be the lessons that we need to teach, and we're also going to get the lessons that we should have learned or need to learn. I don't know how Spirit wants to talk about it, but it's Saturday, right? And Saturn's energy, I really feel it's all about protection, boundaries, lessons, and things like that. So, and it's not always quick. Sometimes it's longer, a little bit of a lesson, right? So I wanted to get into that today. We're going to use three decks here that I have. I have my spell casting and my wisdom oracle deck. I don't use these decks too often. So we're going to probably dive into the book a little bit on those. And we're going to pull some tarot. All right. It's been a while. I hope you guys have been well. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lisa Kidd, and I'm a spiritual strategist and I divine. I also just like to talk self-empowerment and teaching. So that's the way I do my readings. All right. Let's get straight into it. We're going to just start pulling some tarot and seeing exactly what way Spirit wants to go with this reading, what they want to talk about. I do, like I said, know that those are the two main topics that they are wanting to speak about right now at this time. Eight of Swords. Okay, so I feel like a lot of us already, they're telling me we've gotten out of our own way. A lot of us are starting to learn how to really get out of our own way so that we can produce, right? Because that's probably 99% of the problem. You can't make shit happen when you are constantly crossing yourselves up. And that's why I preach all the time spiritual hygiene, but we won't get into that right now. But yeah, we got the Eight of Swords and we got the Lovers. So I feel like this is really you stop fighting the other side of yourself. They're telling me that you stop fighting. You learned how to integrate with yourself. And not only did you start fighting yourself, so this was a lesson that you probably taught, you stopped fighting with others as well, right? It was like people that tried to get that rise and that reaction out of you. Oh no, baby, you get none of this energy, right? If I am going to use it, I am going to use it up in my own way. You learned how to actually transmute that energy within yourself. It's not that you didn't still go through things. You were definitely going through things, but you learned how to transmute them throughout yourself. This is beautiful already. I love it. Thank you so much, Spirit. I receive. Okay, we got the Seven of Swords. So you also, they're telling me like you learned how to stomp shit out right where it starts at. Okay, the root of this problem, if I see that this is the issue, and then we're going to trace it back a little bit further. Like, okay, we have spiders in the home, but why do we have spiders in the home? Is there cracks in the foundation, right? If we have pests in the home, is there cracks? Is it dirty in here? We learned how to stomp things out at the root of the foundation, and we stopped hiding. Oh, this is going to be a good read. Okay, Spirit. Listen, and we stopped hiding. I love it when I surrender. And that's another thing we learned. We surrendered, right? Anyways, we learned to stop hiding from things. And we're like, we're going to deal with you right now, right here. We're not going to let you grow into some huge problem. We're not going to let you run off and have babies and make my home your home. Like, no, we're going to stop this shit. And I feel like, you guys, when I do my readings, I want to say, they can go for anything. It can go for love, relationship, family. Where do you feel it in your heart? What have you been bothered with, right? This is a collective read, so it's not going to get very, very, there may be some things that resonate deeply with you, but it's not going to get like super personal is what I was trying to say. But take it for what it is, leave what resonates. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, okay? But I feel like we're really learning. It says, are your actions really as selfless as you think? Maybe you were selfish in some areas, right? Maybe some things you learned that you were doing it from a place of lack from within yourself, right? And so you learned how to cancel that shit out as well, I'm hearing. Let's see what these messages are. I forgot these Cozy Witch tarot cards. They have little messages on them. It says, the Lover says, will you or won't you? The choice is yours. So you made some heavy decisions this year. Okay. Stop overthinking it and just do it. All right. Like I said, you got yourself out of that energy. Like, I'm not going to look, she's got a little witch's hat on. Like, oh my God, let me just do it. right? A lot of things. There's some things that you're still avoiding. They're like, go ahead and try to clear them up if you need to come together with some people and have some heart to heart conversations with some people. I feel like some work things that you may need to clear up, business things that you may need to clear up that have been on the back of your mind. Go ahead and get those done before the new year if you can. You got about a week left. All right. Let's see. The last two cards we had was the Five of Wands, a good coven. Let's every witch have a say. And the High Priestess. When in doubt, your first gut feeling can always be trusted. So you really learned how to trust yourself as well. You learned how to let other people have their opinions. And maybe I'm not going to argue with you. Your opinion is yours and you deserve that. That's valid, right? Maybe, and you decided, okay, I'm not going to argue with you too much. So these are 5, I feel like, big lessons that you learned and that you also taught to others. That's such a wonderful thing, by the way. Learning to trust yourself, learning to just sit with yourself. They're showing me. Learning just to be one, just to be by yourself. That was a big lesson that you learned this year. That's so beautiful, right? I feel like you also did some gathering, bringing people together, okay? Also, and allowing people's voices to be heard, okay? And this resonates with me very deeply. I have a group called Girlfriend Society, and we met a few times this year, and it was just wonderful. We don't meet all the time. We met probably about 4 or 5 times this year, but when we did, it was beautiful the way we would gather and get together, and everyone would, get to share. So I feel like some of you guys have really learned that. You also have learned that everyone is not to share with, right? So I feel like like I said, you've put up some boundaries here. I feel like you also are in this place of being very, how do I say it? Authentic. Okay. But it's like, the personas and things that you choose to show, they're very real at this time. And I feel like that's something that you've embodied as well, right? And in that sense, you've also learned to take other people for who they are, right? Not just like, oh, well, what they say. No, this is what they're showing. This is exactly who they are. So we've had some hard lessons this year, kind of, but some beautiful ones, right? Some very, very beautiful lessons. Let's go ahead and post some oracle and see what they got to say. Okay, we're going to pull from our spell casting oracle. As you can see, I barely use these cards. Let's shuffle them a couple of more times, actually, because I don't use these at all. I bought them. I used them when I first got them a couple of times, but sometimes I get hyperfixated and I'll just buy stuff like, oh, I'm going to buy these for holiday readings or buy this for this certain type of reading. Oh, I thought my timer had went off. I was going to be like, oh, no, my video is so good already. Anyways. They're saying to me, some of you guys have also learned patience. Your visions and things, I feel like, have gotten a little bit clearer. And then if they haven't, I feel like they will be. Okay. So I feel like you're going to be walking into the step of clarity. But I feel like this is also a sign that some of you guys need to cleanse a little bit more as well. Cleaning a little bit more. I think the more you keep your surroundings and things like that clean, the more clear your mental will be. And I mean, that's less psychological. That's not woo-woo or spiritual. That's real shit. Well-being, your health. Okay, so making sure that your health is on point as you go into this new year. I feel like some of you guys may have some sickness. Okay, so laying hands, maybe doing Reiki, just taking a little bit of extra care on your body as you go through this transformation. But I feel like if you had some illnesses and things, some of those things are going to probably clear up as you elevate, right? Because as you elevate and you elevate your frequencies and all of those things, you're going to be taking better care of yourself. So I think some of the illnesses and ailments that some of you had may be able to be healed is what I'm saying. And I don't want to say, you guys take your own doctor's advice. I'm not trying to give any false hope or anything here either. But the cleaner you are, this is what they're telling me. Okay, so this is going into a whole deeper thing. This is maybe drinking for some of you guys. Okay, like or just keeping your temple clean, your home clean, and things like that. All of those things are going to help to elevate your body. So the illnesses and things that you have, as you take care of yourself, as you don't drink as much, as you don't keep your house as messy, so the fumes and things are good, the air quality is good, right? After you do all of these things, eating well, I feel like you can have like DNA activations to where, because your body does repair and it can heal itself. Okay, that's proven. So if you have some ailments that you're wanting to get rid of. They're telling me right now. And lots of rest is going to be the key as well. Making sure you are rejuvenated. That is when your body can also heal. So feeding your body the things it needs, giving it the environment and things that it needs. Did you see that word? All of those things, that's going to help us. Okay. That's going to help you to move forward. Protection. So lots of protection coming into the new year. And this is not just regular protection. They're telling me this is protection about the things that you are birthing. All right. Ideas and things like that. I really want you to keep them sealed tight. Okay. I want you to treat them just like a loving mother. Okay. Like we're not going to be like some erratic, crazy mom, right? But we're going to be like a loving mother. But it's like, but this is my baby. And no, please don't touch my belly. Okay. Not just yet. She's not ready. Boundaries. You know, because I think we've also learned that if we don't let certain things grow, I think we've also learned, sorry guys, that if we don't let certain things grow, they can't manifest. Okay, so I think that's part of what we learned to like literally stomp out. We're not letting certain things even grow anymore. We're really protecting our peace. Okay, and I did a message yesterday. I feel like a lot of us have these guardian angels, spirits that are around us right now, really helping us. Okay, so some of us have animal spirit guides as well. For some of you guys, this could be a dog or something that went to an afterlife, they're telling me. I'm actually seeing a white small dog. Okay, but this could be a dog that went to the afterlife. Like a Shih Tzu or something is what I'm seeing. Okay, but this could be a dog, like I said, that went to the afterlife. I feel like many of you guys, some of you guys have many pets that went to the afterlife. Some of you guys are telling me were like, I hope this was recording because my mic was all the way in my shirt. But anyways, they're telling me that some of you guys really had lots of pets, right? Or you might have been a collector of things. So all of these things that bring you peace, these little totems, it could even be as well. Seeking truth. I feel like I said, you seek truth a lot. So it's not, when you seek truth in yourself, of course, you're going to seek truth in others, right? You're not going to just be like, oh, I'm the only one that has to be honest. No, you want people that are honest around you. Okay, so I definitely feel that. And once again, I love it when spirit confirms boundaries, protection. So this is really going into this next year, you guys, they're wanting you to really be like this higher elevated version of yourself. Okay, they're wanting you to make sure that you have all of the boundaries and things. My energy just went, it shifted. Okay, we're gonna get into it though. Like, and I feel like this is maybe this is the lessons that you need to teach yourself, right? I feel like yeah, these are the lessons, and that's why my energy shifted. I'm sorry, you guys. These are the lessons that you need to go inward with. They're wanting you to get really deep with yourself. Where does your peace come from? All right. What are the things that you want to keep around you, the things that you care about? What are your animals, right? Like, what are your things that you care about? And be truthful, be honest with yourself. Like I said, setting up all types of protection. Many of you guys may be wanting to do a white light protection. I'm also seeing salt circles. I'm seeing you getting heavier, shit done in layers. Okay, this year moving up forward. Like I said, I feel like you're learning to be more nurturing, more mothering, more caring. And yes, I care about you. Yes, I love you. But I'm going to protect what's mine. I'm going to protect my womb, your sacral energy. Okay. I feel like for many of you, cleansing those things out, making sure that your mind is in a space that can be clear, like I said, because you're keeping your environment and all of those things clear. All of those things that I mentioned at the beginning are going to bring you the health, the peace, the love, treating your animals kind, okay? Because these are your guardians. All of these things, being honest, like I said, with yourself and your boundaries, all of these things are going to help you moving forward. All right. I was like, what was that shift there? Like, okay, here we go. We're back. Because I'm like, what was that about? But Spirit wanted me to get really deep and be very clear on these things for you. Let me. Because I'm feeling the vibes of this Cozy Witch deck. So let's keep using it. But I do want to pull a couple of more cards for clarifiers on these. Let me get a clarifier on this clarity. Even though I feel like we have Three of Wands. So yeah, they're saying also not taking so long to make decisions. Okay. It says put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. So it's like, okay, I'm clear. I have this purpose. Okay. So what are you doing with it though? It's time for you to really take care. Like you've been resting and doing these things. It's time for you to definitely put yourself out there. And I feel like this is going to take strength, but Spirit's saying you just got to get going. All right, it's like you're clear. They've given you the vision, but it's like I feel like for some reason you keep clouding it up, is what they're saying to me right now with it coming out in reverse. So I do feel I'm going to stand by my first message, though, that with cleaning your environment, clearing out your mind, clearing out your diet, and all of those things, it's going to help you to get more confident in that direction on where you're going to go so that you can execute it a little bit better, right? Because I feel like what's blocking you is this truth. Okay, you've got to be very honest. Six of Wands. Yeah, you got to be honest. And for what they're saying to me right now is some of you guys are afraid of success. Oh, you're super afraid to show up because it's like what it's going to require of you. Okay, what it's going to require of you every day. But they're saying like literally like you have this manifestation power right now. So it's time for you to get going. Light a fire underneath your cauldron and go, go, go with this Eight of Wands. It is time for you to get going. Be real with yourself. Like, you know your shit. You know what you're supposed to be doing. Why are you waiting? They want to know. This Chariot, the Eight of Wands. It's like, okay, but I feel it's because you're not confident. You're being weak in yourself. You're being lazy. You're being at home. You're being frumpy. It says it takes great strength to be soft. But what I'm feeling is like, it's not just you being soft. I feel like you're just being like, lazy low key, right? And it's like but I don't think it's from anything. I think you're paralyzed for a reason. And I think the better you take care of yourself, but they're like, babes, you're taking really good care of yourself. You've learned all these lessons. Okay, it's time for you to put yourself out there, but like I said, you're definitely going to have to put the boundaries up. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm feeling. So here's the thing. You know that once you, this is the truth part. You know that once you step fully in your power, okay? Once you step fully in your power and you put yourself out there, because it says you're kind of a big deal, so start acting like it in all ways. But you know that once you do this, you're going to have a whole nother level of responsibility to your customers, to your clients, to the people and places and things around you. It's not going to get smaller. So if you can't handle the level that you're on right now, it's like, oh my God, you have to be truthful. You have to be honest with yourself. And this is why Spirit's been telling you, like, you've got to have boundaries. You do have to have these well-being practices in place. You've got to have a clear mind. You've got to have a plan ahead. You've got to know which way you're going. But once you get those things in place, it's like, you know that everything is going to be exponential. It's going to be more, right? It's going to take off for you. I'm letting you know that right now. Whatever it is, whoever I'm speaking to, whatever it is that you do, once you really put it out there, it's going to take off and you're going to be a busybody. They're telling me like lots of times out of the year, they're what they wanting you to do is build your life on cycles, right? Because I feel like if you do it seasonally, you can also rest seasonally. So you're really going to have to plan out your space for yourself in these things, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be following behind you. Okay. A lot of people are going to want with whatever it is that you have to offer. And that's going to increase your responsibility. And can you hold that? This is the truth. Can you hold that? Are you the person that can hold that? This whole time, that's what all these lessons have been. That's what this fire that you've been in has been. It's putting you through to hold it. So can you hold it? I feel like you can hold it, but you're going to have to be very honest with yourself, and it's going to take lots of fire, lots of discipline. You're going to have to keep your own fire and your flame lit from the inside. And that's where that well being, that care, feeding into the things that you love, protecting your energy, protecting your ideas before you put them out there, because you don't have time to deal with these other people's energies. Having your own peace, your own inner peace, that's where all of those things are going to come from, you guys. And we're going to go through our wisdom oracle deck real quick. And those were the lessons that Spirit wanted us to learn. Let's see what lessons I believe that we're going to teach now. I'm feeling that's the energy we're going to go into with this deck. Okay, let's see. And this whole reading, you can take it however you want. And if it's resonating with you guys, please do make sure you subscribe to my channel. It really helps me. Like the videos, whatever, that type of stuff really does help us content creators. Okay, so, and I don't really consider myself a content creator, but I am a person creating content. Okay, and I do wish to grow. So let's help each other out. Okay. Invisible. Okay. Okay, this is deep. That's why I'm like not really saying anything right now. Yeah, and they're telling me that both it's like, yes, both reading, like all of the cards. It's this whole reading is just what did you teach and what did you learn, right? And both most of these lessons can go both ways. So we're gonna go ahead and go through these cards real quick. But this invisible right now, I'm feeling like the first thing they said is that people only have as much access to you as you allow them. Okay. That is one of the first things that you learned or that you taught to people this year. You only get to know me when I tell you you get to know me, baby. You don't get all access to me. You don't get to see me. This is also a message for some of you guys, though, to clean your windows, clean your mirrors, things like that, your TV screens. Those are portals. And people that do scrying and stuff, they will use those things to spy. So make sure you keep those sorts of things cleaned and guarded and protected. And that's the extra boundaries and stuff we've been talking about. You see? Okay. But yeah, they're saying, listen, baby, you don't get to see everything. You only get to see what I want you to see. So a lot of you guys may be using like cloaking oils and things like that to help you. You've also got in you your warrior energy here. Okay. You went into full fight mode. People seen that in you. You are a fighter. You're masculine energy. Okay. Like I'm not, but I also know when to lay it down, because this came out in reverse, actually. Okay. It's not just, yes, I have this masculine energy. It's also, I have this masculine energy, but I know when to lay it down. People also got very attracted to you a lot this year. There's a lot of lust around you. Okay. But I feel like you also taught people that boundary about yourself and yourself as well. You taught yourself that you wanted a little bit more. Right. And it's like, that lust or that sex and things like that, it's not bad to explore. Right. But it's when it's respected. I feel like this is the energy, right? And you learn to really become more free with yourself sensually, and that kind of set up your sensual energy, which makes sense to why you're birthing so much right now, right? It's like people are just attracted. Your attraction energy is top tier right now. But I feel like I said, you showed people like, you know what, you can look, but you don't touch, or you can only touch me how I want you to touch me, when I want you to touch me. Okay. So this goes back to the invisibility message. But I feel like it's like people are like, but we see you and we want you and we want more of you. And for some of you guys, this is even lovers in your past. Okay. They're coming back like, babes, I miss you. I just want to feel you, smell you, touch you, taste you. Oh, this message is getting spicy. All right. So with this 6 here, though, we've got lots of 6s, 7s, 9s, luck changing, lots of transformation, things like that moving around. The next card is honesty. So I feel like I said, we had some come to Jesus meetings with ourselves. We was very fire about this. Also, I feel like some things got cut off. We've done some cord cuttings from people just not being honest. right? But we also did the same thing with ourselves. It was like anything that wasn't honest or truthful, like we showed in the last cards, we cut those things off because it's like I have to show up authentically in this light because that's what I'm going to be doing, right? Like I want to show other people how they should be and how they're to treat me, right? So then you have to be just as honest and authentic. So I feel like coming down to that, a lot of things that maybe was bothering, I feel like you let a lot of things burn, a lot of things that were in the way. So I feel like that's definitely some work. And so I keep getting this high priestess. So this is Libra, and this might be me because I am a high priestess of air. But anyways, no, seriously. Yeah, I feel like you really mastered your mental. We started off with that 8 of Swords, remember, in reverse. And I feel like this year and moving into next year, we really are going to continue mastering our mental listening. We are definitely getting more messages and things from spirit. And like I said, we're learning how to surrender into this energy as well. And I think people see that in you because it's evident, right? The elevations and things, it's evident. It's like, damn, where does she get these gifts from? It says darkness does not always equate to evil. Light does not always bring good. And that is a very, 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 very true fact, right? I try to explain this to people sometimes, and my simplest way of explaining it is, okay, say you and Sally go for the same job. Sally has 8 kids. You have none. You're a single person. You live on your own, but Sally really needs this job. Sally's about to get put out of her apartment next year. Well, you go with all your credentials and you beat Sally out. Now, that is good magic for you. But for Sally, it's very bad, right? So it doesn't always, it's a very much the person that's in the situation. Okay. So it doesn't always mean good, but you know what they're telling me, and we haven't read anything. So we have a little bit of time. We're going to go ahead and let's see what this card actually says in the book. These ones aren't very long. It says, drawing this symbol indicates that you are meant to listen to what others are saying with their gestures rather than their words. Okay, so I'm glad we read this. So you went beyond the veil, right? You started going beyond the things that people are saying to you and things. You started seeing them for who they really are also, right? It was like I said, this feminine energy. You sat back. It's like normally where you're always go, go, go. No, this year you decided to sit back and watch, and it's so evident in you. And that energy is what made you more lustful. I'm so glad that I read that, right? It made you more lustful because it made you more honest in yourself and things like that. Okay, but it says, in my house of night, there will be a beautiful girl with a skin of color of dark honey who has the gift of poetry. She is able to weave tales with great detail and expression, yet without being obvious or straightforward. Reading between the lines and finding true meaning are what are required right now. Listen and learn. What others don't say is what is important at this moment. And I'm going to read the invisible card just because I feel like it directly relates to this card. Okay, so we're going to read just one more, the invisible card, and then we'll go ahead and pull a couple of tarot and we'll end this reading. Okay. It says, sometimes you may feel like you don't fit in, as if you are invisible to others, as your goddess. I see you, I know you, and I believe in you. Know that not everyone has the ability to recognize you fully, and that perhaps they are so caught up in their own stories that they can't see you. It's okay, because those who can see you are important companions on your path to finding your magic. Another meaning for the symbol you have chosen is that circumstances may require you to step back and remain in the shadows. Now is not the time for you to tell and show everyone your truth. Being invisible protects you from harm right now so that you can observe your surroundings without being vulnerable, stay hidden, and watch what others do before acting. So, like I said, that was confirmation. I'm glad we read those two. That's perfect. And that's why Spirit's like, put your protection up, put your boundaries up. Because listen, you guys, as you elevate and as you're victorious, yes, there's going to be so many fans that are going to be following you and loving you. But guess what? There's going to be so many haters too. And that's just the way it is. You know, it kind of sucks. It does. I'm not going to lie. It kind of sucks, but it just is what it is. What's that Biggie song? It's popping into my head right now. But it's not popping into my head right now. But y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Let me shuffle these a little bit more because these are the same cards that just came out. But yeah, I still feel this energy though. The 7 of Wands. Like I feel like you're going to be on the chopping block. There's going to be a lot of people at the same time, because I don't feel the same energy from that card. There's going to be a lot of people at the same time that are going to be poking their fingers at you and things. And I think you've probably kind of got a small glimpse of it already. Well, guess what? As your platforms, as you and your reach and your network and things grow, it's only going to grow. It's only going to come from different angles, babe. Okay, so I think you're recognizing that, though. And I think even with that, it's like, I'm still going to show you who I want to see. And I think that's the main message there, is like, what persona do you want to show? Authenticity is one thing, yes, but find your persona. Okay, if you haven't found your persona yet, get your persona, babes, because what are you going to show to people? Like, because authentically, you can't show every side of yourself to everyone. They don't deserve it. Okay, so what are you going to show? And be real in what it is that you put forth, whatever that is. Two of Wands, your decisions decide your future here, nothing else. Before the new year, I'm really seeing, sit with your cards or whatever form of divination it is that you do. If it's a reading, maybe you need to get a reading. But sit with whatever form of divination you need to do. It doesn't even take divination, you guys. I don't want you to pay for a reading. No, I do readings, but I don't want you to pay anyone for a reading, because I feel like this is something personal between you and spirit. What I want you to do, though, if you don't have a way to scry, simply get you a glass of water and a candle. And I want you to sit with spirit in silence. Nothing around, no phones, no books, nothing. Just you and spirit in silence. And I want you to commune and talk to your ancestors through that glass of water. Speak love. Okay, I want you to speak love and honesty into this glass of water. And when you're done, you're going to just transmute it to the earth. I couldn't decide, because if it's all love, I feel like it's okay for you to drink it. I do. I feel like it'll be okay for you to drink it. If it's not all love, though, I want you to give it back to the earth, because you don't want to ingest that, right? So if you tend to find yourself purging more, but because I want you to go with what's natural to you. So, but this is really for clarity. Okay. So I really think that you in spirit, it should be a messages through love. But do what you feel. Okay. But don't just like pour it in a toilet. Okay. If you're not going to drink it, I want you to go ahead and just give it back to the earth to transmute it. Okay. Knight of Wands is saying stay focused. Knight of Pentacles, slowly but surely you're going places. I feel like this is you learning to take your patience and just continue to elevate and be one with yourself and do the things that you want to do, right? I feel like your offers, the things that you're presenting, this is your physical product, spirit's telling me. I feel like making sure that they're ready, that they're elevated, making sure that your systems and all of those things are at ease. If there's anything that you need to learn still, take the time to learn this. You guys, we're not rushing, and we learned that last year as well, right? With that surrender, I feel. And since we know that we're not rushing and we're just getting fucking hotter by the day, and people are just falling in love and being more and more magnetized by us by the day, what we need to do is refine, right? So this is real physical, though. This is, like I said, if there's any studies that you need to do, any products or anything like that that you need to put together, go ahead and start getting those together. Because like I said, once you take off, babe, you're going to take off, and you may not have the time to do all of the things, right? So that's why they're like, get the systems in place so that you can just go. Because the way that you're going to go, I don't think even you understand it. I don't think you're really ready for it. And I think that's what they're trying to prepare you for. They're like, babes, we need you to be able to handle any damn thing, because you're a powerful person. Knight of Wands, sometimes you have to be willing to bend the rules a little bit. So I definitely feel like this is keeping your focus, but this is also knowing when to this is also knowing when to like sneak through the back door, they're saying, right? Like maybe everything doesn't, we think everything is like, oh, you got to do this steps, this steps, this steps. Maybe you find out there's a shortcut along the way that's honest. Remain honest all the way through. They're saying integrity is going to be very big in your work. You've got to keep it loyal and real, and they got you. They're going to be having your back. But the moment you get dishonest in your workings, So anyways, they're saying, but there's still loopholes, right? There's knowing people. Maybe you know someone and you can get some things done. So figuring out the way. Don't always look straight on. And I tell people this with magic, like, it's really your perception and how you can look at things. You think that this lip gloss is a lip gloss, but how could you use this? In what ways could you use this? Okay. So I want you to think outside the box while you're building, while you're going, because that's going to keep you kind of protected as well, because nobody's going to be thinking like that. It's not an easy thing to do. It would take somebody with the level of clarity and, like I said, the high priestess and the mental alertness and things that you have. Okay, being this high priestess of air, this mental clarity, it would take someone with that will, and you have it. The witch is in, Queen of Pentacles. So baby, the money is coming, the self-care is coming, the love, all of the things. Okay, it says there's no need to sacrifice. You can have it all. You're one of those people that probably had 50 million different ideas and you didn't think it. And it's like, baby, no, you are the boss. Like, I see your name on the door, CEO, with all of these different businesses and these ventures and things. You can have them all, but it's going to take the patience. It's going to take the clarity. It's going to take the maneuverability and things like that. And it's going to take you to fucking get going. All right. So you got to get going, babe. You got to get going. I love this reading here. I'm trying to think, do I want to end with a different deck real quick? Let's just get a message from this one's sitting right here, our Garden Stones deck. Okay, we'll get one last message and then we will be done. And I really appreciate you guys if you've made it all the way to the end with me. This was such a beautiful read. Thank your spirit guides and my spirit guides for being here with us today, for delivering these beautiful messages to us about the lessons we learned. And some of them, they're saying they know they were harsh. That's literally what they just said. They know they were harsh, but they had to get you ready. They had to get you ready. And this is just a glimpse of the types of people, places, and things that you're going to come in contact with, and the ways that you've got to teach people how to treat you. I don't want to do all those. We'll do 3. We got creativity, creative expression, trust your vision. You guys, like I said, and this came out in reverse because, and this reminds me, and I feel like Spirit's taking us very back to the very beginning with that clarity card that we had at first. Right here, it was at the very top. Look at that. Look how similar they look. And it's saying that I feel like, some of you guys, that's part of the reason why you don't get going. Like I said, so do that little bit of shadow work, sit with Spirit, clear that out. Because you've got to trust the vision. Because, babes, your vision is fucking fire as fuck. It's fire as fuck, and it's going to blow. I don't care if I'm talking to a cosmetologist over here, a teacher over here, a reader over here. Baby, what you got is good. It's good. Believe in yourself, okay? The obstacle, find another road, flexibility, and change. If anything gets in your way, they want to let you know. Break that bitch open. So road openers might be your best friend this year, blockbusters and things like that. Break those bitches open. Don't be afraid. We're not stopping for anything. We're going to find a way around it. And that's where that flexibility comes from, right? Just because this person told me no, it's okay. It just means that I'm not supposed to do this here. Your no is, it's not a no to me. It's a no for you. So now you go find your yes. You hear me? And the cave, retreat, time out, self-care, slow down. So I told you that this is going to be pertinent to you because this is where you're going to get your ideas. This is where you're going to grow in that womb. This is where you're going to grow that baby. This is where you're going to heal your body, heal those illnesses and things like that. So protecting yourself, keeping yourself in your cave, slowing down, taking the time to slow down because you're going to be out in the open. Babe, your whole life is you're going to be out in the open. I don't know if some of you guys wish for fame or not, but it's going to be here. You're going to be out in the open. So you need to have, and I don't know people to be like, oh, I don't like Beyonce, but listen, I think she's a great artist in the way she treats herself and her family and things, right? Because she's out in the open, but there's a lot of shit about Beyonce you don't know, right? So I feel like this whole reading, that persona, right? And I'm not saying you got to have a whole Sasha Fierce or anything like that, but what I'm saying is you've got to kind of see like, oh, this is what you guys can see. Like I said, what I want you to see, and this is what I don't want you to see. And the rest, because you need to make sure that you have that cave carved out for you, because that's what it's going to take for you to survive like years and years so that you can pull this plan all the way out. Right? Because you don't want to do this for 1 year and burn yourself out, or 2 years and be tired and sick and burn yourself out. No, you're going to keep looking younger. You're going to get more and more hotter, babe, as long as you keep taking care of yourself, and you're going to get the energy. You're going to have all of those things. And this is where you rejuvenate at. And on that note, love, light, and lingerie. And I will talk to you soon.